and gentlemen, in this corner, weighing 275, 6'4", rapper the game. And in this corner, weighing 180, about 5'9", rapper Eminem. Let's get it rockin'.
Rockin' in the club, my niggas show me love. My ladies give me hugs. That DJ play my dub, and now I'm rockin' in the club. We'll make my drink a dub, cause I don't give a fuck. I be drunk up in this club, get to grabbing on some buzz, then roll some of this bud. We buzz, but so what? Cause we bout to cut a rug, man. I'm addicted to this drug, but I ain't no motherfucking club, man. I'm a motherfucking Mac, and this ain't no motherfucking act. Man, the party's where I'm at. Got shorty on my lap. An ordinary night for extraordinary cap. So she choose me, I'm a doozy. Yeah, her friends like, who is he? I get busy in the club with all that bullshit. Y'all miss me, I get tipsy. But I keep my collars crispy and I keep them dollars with me. I got 20s, I got 50s. I don't keep no problems with me, but I keep them solvers with me. We be gully, we be grizzly, we be rockin' in your city. We be rockin'.
Show number 2.
We be rockin'.
Me 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 show number 2.
We be rockin'. We be
Yo.
rockin'.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay. This is episode 2, the Mean and Nasty Show. They call me mean. And first episode we said we was gonna react to the reaction. Or maybe we didn't say that, but that's why it was called that. We were gonna react to whatever the reaction was. Well, it wasn't much reaction. We reached number 226 on the iTunes chart with the last episode, which was kind of just like, it wasn't really a real episode. It was just kind of a, let me figure out my distribution channels. I ain't gonna get too deep in all that, man, but got some time today. Got time today, cuz. R.I.P. to that young gentleman. I heard that he lost his life. That's a viral video that was popular in the 2010s, kids. Okay. So this episode is called Rockin' in the Club, because we're going to get it rocking in the club, because that's what we really want to do. That's the main reaction. I want to go ahead and turn up. I'm not new to radio, at least. Podcasting is something different, and logistically there's some more things involved. And again, I said I wasn't going to bore you with the details, but I'm back. We're going to put in a few minutes here. Some of y'all going to get the long form. Some of y'all going to get it chopped up. Some of y'all going to get it soft. Some of y'all going to get it hard. That's how it is. All right. So let me see. First order of business, and I should have came more prepared for this, but it's okay, because I want to be able to shout out all the venues that are carrying this signal for us, as far as the Mean and Nasty podcast and some of these other podcasts that we have coming up. But I do want to shout out Apple Podcasts. Mean and Nasty Show can be found on Apple, also on Spotify, also on Amazon Music, also on TuneIn, also on Audible, which is kind of fly. Like I'm finally putting my chapters in, right? Okay. And then what else? Who else can I remember? And I don't just want to make up company names. But Overcast, I believe, is one. Shout out to Overcast and our listeners over at Overcast. You can always listen to the Jointz podcast, Mean and Nasty Show, even G's Up Radio, which I was going to talk about here in a second. But you can always go to thejointz.com and check all that out. TheJointz.com. A lot of good stuff there, a lot of good stories. Matter of fact, we can check out, just so you know what I'm talking about here as far as the Jointz. See, that's the Jointz.com. You got some fly fashion. You can upgrade your, gear game. I don't know if y'all still use the word gear or whatever, but you can also get your hip hop topics. Battle rap is heavy on the site. Models are heavy on the site. Hip hop news is heavy on the site. We got featured artists. All kind of good things here. Shout out! Look at that. We got the Game Spitter. We got King AK-47. We got I think that's Mia ASMR. Yeah, got it all there. Nice little hats. Yeah, man. So that's the joints.com. By the way, while we're on this screen, for those that can view this screen, I apologize to my audio listeners. I'll get back to you here in 1 second. But make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're at, or follow, whatever the button is, add friend, whatever it is. Where are you at? You're at Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, IG, wherever you hear the sound of my voice. Make sure you make an attempt to stay tuned to what's going to be going on next, okay? So, cool. A lot to talk about. I was shouting out everybody that's carrying the podcast. I can't remember everybody now, but actually I got a tool for you. Boom. Let me see. For everybody who wants to stay up with the podcast, you can catch us on, like I said before, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, also iHeartRadio. Shout out to iHeartRadio. I got to talk to y'all. Google Podcasts. Shout out to them. Also Audible. Oh, good. Also Stitcher. Also Pocket Casts. See, I was going to just make up one for that one, and that wouldn't have been good. Shout out to Overcast and my listeners there. Our listeners at Player FM, our listeners at Castro. Hello to all our listeners at Podcast Addict, also Pod Hero, Podcast Guru, Podcast Republic, Pod Friend, Radio Public, Sonnet. There's a few more that I can't seem to pull up right now. But also, again, at thejoints.com. I think you go to thejoints.com/podcast, or it might be podcasts plural. Anyway, go to thejoints.com, go to the main menu, go ahead and get right. So thank you everybody for listening. We're going to break our record this week. We're going to top 226. We're going to get at least to 225. Now that's pretty damn good. And from what I hear, that was only like a second. Like, a second in time when it came out. Oh, boom, I'm number one. Because nobody else came out in this second, being facetious, but hopefully hoping to build the crowd, build the audience, and earn your trust. G's Up Radio, we're going to be doing a few things with that. I don't really want to let everything out the bag with that. But you can also find G's Up Radio for now on thejoints.com. That's G103 GZUP FM, G's Up Radio. You can also catch it on TuneIn, by the way. If you search for the Jointz TV presents G's Radio, you should find it. G's with a Z, like G, the apostrophe, or whatever that is, and then the Z. Okay. All right. More to come on that, though. Lots of exciting stuff. Lots of new shows. Lots of new content. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes I'll have a co-host. Sometimes I won't. I want y'all to get used to me, and then hopefully you'll get excited when I bring additional voices. But I don't want you to be disappointed when it's just me, because a lot of times it's gonna be just me. Damn, that could have been the name of this episode. There's another song that I have, or at least I produced, called Just Me. Shout out to No Love. I don't have that record, I don't think, anymore. And I told you the name of this episode, right? Rockin' in the Club. That was the intro song. That was a song I made a while back. Was released a few years ago on my Strictly for the G's album. Mean and Nasty, Strictly for the G's. In stores now. Yeah, that one was called Rocking in the Club. And we're going to get it rocking in the club now, because from what I'm hearing, or rumor is, Eminem wants to get it rocking, or rockin', with The Game, rapper The Game, not, The Game, but the rapper The Game. He wants to get it rocking in the ring with The Game. I'm going to talk about that, and maybe y'all will leave some comments wherever you're listening to this, or perhaps viewing this. But this is very interesting. And then, I'm going to, again, peruse the internet, Jointz.com website. Probably take a look at the Jointz. We got an Instagram page with some news on there. I'll check out some other people's news pages. I'll try to quote all my sources so people don't get, ass sores. How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay. It's been challenging in Los Angeles since the pandemic. A lot of people didn't make it through. A lot of people have been struggling ever since. I won't say I've personally been struggling. I'll say that, it's new. It's a new thing. It's not the same Southern California that it was a couple years ago. It's a lot going on. But shout out to everybody. What did I do this week? I was in a TV show. Never allowed to really say what show it is until it airs. But where was I? Oh yeah, we filmed in Santa Clarita. The worst place to drive through for a black person in California that I've experienced thus far. It's worse than Beverly Hills or anywhere else. Santa Clarita. Yep. Or Valencia, whatever you want to call it. Sorry. Shout out to the people of Valencia, Santa Clarita. Nothing against you guys. But man. But yeah. That was the second time in 2 weeks that I filmed in Santa Clarita. last time. I don't even think I could talk about that one either. You know, a lot of these shows, um, they don't actually air until months from now, so it's hard to even give clues. And a lot of times, sometimes I'm more involved than other times. Like sometimes I'm just like, you know, stand in or background. Sometimes I might have a line. Sometimes, well, hopefully, you know, it'll get more involved and deeper. But we'll keep you posted there. Other than that, you know, tending to my other hustles and getting ready for these broadcasts. I want to, you know, put this together in a way that not only can I do it consistently, but also, you know, it can live in some form if I'm not present on that day, you know? But shout out to everybody listening one more time. So, okay. Back to the subject at hand. Eminem versus the Game. So how did this start? I need to give you a warning, a disclaimer. I don't believe any of this shit. Okay? But that's no fun. So we're going to do this the way everybody else is doing it, but different. Because this is the mean show. Okay? So, the Game versus Eminem. How did this start? Well, the Game, shout out to the Game, right? I don't know the Game. I don't think I know him. But he has a tendency to name drop. Now, his first album, classic. Second album, really, really, really good. I would say maybe classic. He has some songs on the second album that, yeah, super dope. I kind of faded off the Game after that, you know, respectfully. You know how it is, man. Like, 1 minute you on, or with me, for me, like, 1 minute you on, uh, man, hold on, let me take this all the way back. Okay, like, 1 minute you on Run DMC, and then next you on EPMD and Hit Squad. Okay, and maybe my chronology is off right here, but peep what I'm saying. Okay, and then uh, you start to fall in love with the West Coast, Dr. Dre, Easy E, NWA sound. Okay, so now you riding with that for a minute. Okay, and then you start listening to a whole bunch of other West Coast stuff. Okay, and then I don't know, something happened, and then you all of a sudden just start listening to Wu Tang, and now you just listen to all Wu Tang. Like you not even rocking with the West Coast shit no more. You just listen to all Wu Tang shit. Like, and now you following all the solo albums. Now I'm on Method Man's album and Old Dirty's album and Raekwon's album and Ghostface album, and you know you waiting for Inspector Deck album and everything like that. And then uh, damn, now I'm listening to No Limit. Shit, I'm Master Pete out. Now I'm listening to Mr. Servon and Fiend. Shit, Mia X I was listening to Mystical, Silk the Shocker. The fuck? And then from there, damn. Well, anyway, Game had his time in my deck. Is all I'm trying to say, respectfully. But in my time listening to Game, I noticed that, you know, he would always do a lot of name dropping. Now, I can't say the first time that the Game name dropped Eminem because I just don't remember. Like I said, after the first couple albums, I kind of trailed off, and so I wouldn't be the one to tell you. Somebody could tell me in the comments on one of these platforms, and maybe I'll never see it. But let's take it up to recent times. The Game has an album coming out called Drillmatic. Eminem has an album, Curtain Call 2. Okay. Very convenient that we're going to now have this battle between these two gentlemen. You know, am I saying it's orchestrated? Maybe. Maybe not. What I mean by maybe not is maybe one person is playing into it more than the other. Or maybe they're both playing into it. I don't pretend to know. But the Game made a 10-minute diss. Yeah, I think this started with MGK. Shout out to Machine Gun Kelly from Cleveland, Ohio. Well, is he from Cleveland? Y'all got to tell me what street he's from, because I'm from Cleveland, respectfully. I just want to know. I think this started because MGK in some ways got a little bit of a win over Eminem in some ways publicly, perspective wise. This one devil told me one time, well, I know the truth, but it's the perception. Oh, anyway. Devil is an evil person, by the way. So, I don't ever remember Eminem saying anything about the Game. But all I can really think of is the Game feels slighted because he wasn't invited to the Super Bowl stage during halftime of 2022. In 2022, the Super Bowl was in Los Angeles, I believe. I know that Dr. Dre and Eminem and 50 Cent and Mary J. Blige and Kendrick Lamar and Anderson .Paak and Tupac Spirit all performed during the halftime of the most recent Super Bowl as of the recording of this episode, right? So the Game might feel slighted by that because, I mean, he definitely had more involvement than Mary J. Blige in that whole movement. But you can say that that was a Dr. Dre show. That wasn't a Aftermath show. Although, it's hard to say that. Because I'm not aware of Dr. Dre producing too many Anderson .Paak songs or Kendrick Lamar songs for that matter. I mean, how many songs did he actually do for Mary J. besides, I don't feel comfortable doing the singing that the other guys feel comfortable doing, but that you know what I'm talking about. So I could see him feeling a certain way, honestly. Like, man, this is all because of 50. And maybe he feels like Dre or Eminem should have said, man, you know what? He was really a part of this. He's got NWA on his chest. He's got LA on his face. he, has definitely pledged allegiance lyrically to, Dre, Shady, Aftermath, 50, Kendrick, lyrically and publicly praised all these guys. So he could definitely feel slighted. That would have been a great time to do a reunion with him and 50. Do Hate It or Love It and bring out the game. That would have been amazing. So yeah, I can get where he could feel a certain way. So maybe Eminem is just like, when you can't take it out on one person, you can take it out on you can find somebody that you can take it out on, so again, I'm acting like this is real. So maybe, yeah, I'm gonna take my frustrations and my angers out on Eminem. Now, he releases the Black Slim Shady 10-minute song. I got through a couple of minutes. I didn't cut it off because I didn't like it, just because I was tired. But he does have some lines. It reminds me of Charged Up. Drake kids before Drake released Back to Back, he released kind of like a pre-diss song called whatever I just said. Charged Up, or whatever, something like that. And then Meek was like, "Oh shoot, wait till I get off tour. I'm about to get in the studio." And then Drake dropped Back to Back like a couple days after, or the next day, or you know. And that was the one that really got it rocking in the club. You feel me? Got it rocking in the club, rocking in the club, rocking in the club. Okay. So the game feels slighted, drops the Black Slim Shady. 10 minutes, got some stingers in there. Doesn't go all the way hard. That's what I mean. Like it's kind of charged up. It's not like, I'm gonna put you in the dirt. To send the one that knocks them out. That wasn't a knockout blow. I don't think it was 10 minutes, but it was kind of like, let me just show you that I've mastered your style. Apparently, shout out to the game, man. I'm being an analyst. Hey, it's kind of fucked up how, the root word of analyst is anal. Yo, wait, episode 3, I might have some sound effects. I got all this like music equipment I can like kind of double purpose as podcast broadcasting equipment. This could get really advanced. Although I'm trying to go without music today, which is very difficult for the musician in me to do. However, I've heard that I have a future in voiceovers. And so, let's see what happens there. Man, we're blessed to live in today's time, but we're also challenged. You just got to make the most out of it, man. So, Game drops his Charged Up, what I think. Because I think Game could rap his ass off. And I think if Eminem was to respond, he'd have something else that would, be probably more explicit. If Eminem indicates that one thing in particular ruffled his feathers, perhaps he's giving Game ammunition to come back a second time. Because we all know the game likes to talk about fucking other dudes' girlfriends. So, Eminem has been spotted recently in his Kango. Shout out to LL Cool J. And they said he rushed out of his vehicle, or was rushed out of his vehicle. I unfortunately didn't get to see the video, but and rushed into the studio. So perhaps he's preparing a response to rapper The Game. Now, rumor has it that he didn't like what The Game had to say about his daughter. And this is why I say this was the charged up, because The Game really didn't say anything about his daughter. He kind of was, a little playful, little slick line, but it wasn't nothing too serious. So, and Eminem is my age, and yeah, you can rap your ass off, dude. But as far as still trying to battle cats, man, what do you got to prove, bro? Now, should he respond? Yeah, it makes hip hop fun. If Eminem heard this shit, said something about me, I'll eat that motherfucker up. Game too. I live in LA. I know how this shit work out here, but shit. You want to rap, nigga? We can rap. But now we're hearing that Eminem potentially wants to fight The Game. That's the word in the valley. Now, why would one say that? Well, they're saying Eminem can box. Eminem has some skills. Eminem, at one time, was going to star in the movie Southpaw, and eventually decided to not do the acting role, but instead to do the soundtrack. So I'm sure he was involved some way, production-wise. But because of that training, he can still get down. Now, The Game has had some videos boxing, so it's hard for me to call a winner. I mean, at face value, Game, he's probably 6'4". Weight wise, he's probably between 260 and 280. And with Eminem, he's probably shorter than 6 feet, and probably right around, I don't know, 180, 190. I might be giving him a few pounds, but I would usually say The Game, but Eminem, perhaps he decided not to show his skills on screen because he wants to surprise somebody like The Game who dare talk about his daughter Hailie. So it'll be interesting to see if this turns into anything. If so, perhaps we'll be back next week to discuss it further. But right now, the Jointz odds are we've got the game in 6th round. You guys let me know what you got. All right. So this is the Jointz News. This is one of our podcasts. I'm not losing control of my speech pattern yet. I have to fix a headphone issue that I have here. I hear this echo. And so I'm trying to talk with pause so that this annoying, or I shouldn't say echo, but I have the Bluetooth headphones on, and so there's the lag. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I want to get into a few topics. Some of them I'll have an opinion on. Some of them just be, So, Kodak Black wants police to return car and money seized in drug arrest. This is from TMZ. Kodak is seeking a judge to rule in his favor to make the Florida Highway Patrol officers who arrested him return a Dodge Durango and $75,000 in cash seized during a drug arrest July 15th. Okay. The lawyer can prove the car wasn't involved in any illegal activity and is registered to the label. And also, Kodak has a prescription for that stuff. And, he's a performer, so he obviously has reason to have the money. He didn't steal it. So, yeah, if you don't have any other charges or he's not, a suspect for anything else, by this time, if y'all wanted to dust the car, y'all could have dusted it. Y'all could have did whatever y'all had to do in this time. That was July 15th. So, I could see why he would want his shit back. What do y'all think? I don't know. Leave that shit in the comments. Thank you. Okay. So that's Kodak. I'm with Kodak on that one. Okay. In old man news, De La Soul reunite with Prince Paul for studio session. Magic is happening. This is from Hip Hop DX. Well, I'll tell you. De La Soul definitely had a time in my deck. Yeah, I'm telling my age. De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah. Who else? I think Black Sheep was in that mix. Yeah. Heck yeah, the whole, oh man, Naughty by Nature. That was a time, man. 91, 92, 93. Crazy. And De La Soul's first album, 3 feet, I think it was 3 feet high and rising. Yeah. Produced almost in its entirety by Prince Paul, from what I remember. It's funny though how a lot of record credits changed 10 and 15 years later, but that's another story. Anyway, De La Soul's second album, very much a departure in sound from their first effort. Definitely experimented a lot with their projects. Had some problems with their record label. Some of that stuff has been fixed. Now they're back with Prince Paul, working again. And I believe that they could come up with something truly magical, because there's no age limit on rap. I don't know about hip hop, but as far as rap, there's no age limit on rap. And as long as you got something to say, there's somebody that's going to want to listen to it. Not only that, but we are the pioneers of this podcast, recorded music, recorded content shit. And this shit that we're doing right now will live forever. Just think, your grandparents didn't get a chance to put this shit down like this. You know, we hear about, Tutankhamun and Mansa Musa and all these people, but you don't see any of his IG lives. You dig? So this is a great opportunity for us to immortalize us while they're trying to kill us. Now, who is they? All right, we'll shout out to De La Soul and shout out to Prince Paul. Good stuff to look up, kids. Prince Paul was originally in a group called Stetsasonic with Daddy-O and Fruit Quan and Wise. There were a few others that I don't remember at the moment. And then I think it was Fruit Quan. Later got with the RZA, and I think Prince Paul was also in the Grave Diggers. Maybe not. I know it sounds crazy. No, next week when I fix these headphones, I'm gonna stop saying things like yeah, I'm okay. All right, shout out to De La. Daisy Age returns, baby. Okay, now Ray J upset over Kim Kardashian's headphones being compared to his headphones. Ray J has been vocal as of late about, I'm sure he feels like people are playing with his name. Like they're trying to make a joke out of the guy's name. Like, oh yeah, the guy who was in the porno with Kim. Or, oh yeah, that's Brandy's little brother. Or, oh yeah, that was the guy, And I always try to put myself in people's shoes, And in many ways, I am Ray J. I'm somebody wanting to do things my own way and find my own way, and finding myself in some of the same circles and industries as older siblings, and having to make a strong effort to differentiate myself from them and everybody else for that matter. So in many ways, I am Ray J. Shout out to Ray J. But yeah, man, why every time he got something going on, they got to bring her name up? Oh, okay, she got some new Beats by Dre earbuds, so why they got to bring up Raycom's earbuds? Although that's probably good for you, Jack. But he said recently that he feels used from that whole porno tape thing he did with Kim K, and I can relate to that. Because, he might have got a little bit of scratch up front. He might have got a lot of scratch up front, but money ain't everything. Which is the same thing I told this young lady before she got in my car today. That's a whole nother story. Maybe that's one for Patreon. Oh, yeah. We do have a Patreon. Support the Jointz. Support the Mean and Nasty Show. go to patreon.com/, or is that a backslash? Seems like it's leaning forward, but y'all, I hear everybody saying backslash. So /the Jointz, TheJointz. Yeah, patreon.com/the Jointz. Pick your level. We have levels as low as $3. That's a tray bag, baby. Yeah. But then, Ray J, you insert yourself into the conversation a lot, man. Nah, just not even to let you off the hook, bro. Shout out to Ray J again. I don't know how these LA niggas be acting like I'm just being critical, man. But check. I hit it first. See, y'all, none of this shit is real to me. But I know how the game works. And it's like keeping your name in the public is important. So, trust me. Raising your search level, in other words, I was the 226 best podcast at some point last week. This week, I'd like to be higher. I'd like to raise up. Y'all leave Ray J alone, man. And Ray J, leave them alone, man. You good with Ye now? I don't know how much y'all can squeeze out of this. Game, you cool with Kanye now? So you can't talk about Kim K no more for real? Well, maybe you can, because he said go ahead. Pete Davidson, no longer with Saturday Night Live. No longer with Kim Kardashian. Shit was all good just a week ago. I mean, what do you do, man? You get the girl and her kids tattooed on you after, I don't know, a couple months, man. I've had a couple girls try to do that. Like, they wanted to put their name on me so bad. Whew. I wonder whose idea that was. Was that her idea or your idea? What happened that night that made you decide that's what you wanted to do? And you wanted to be daddy forever? I mean, it's just a question. JT of the City Girls says she's still a city girl despite Lil Uzi Vert paying all her bills. Uh-oh. So, women, is it weak for a man to pay all your bills? Once you're being taken care of and in a committed relationship, are you no longer a city girl? Do you have to give up your pass? Do you have to give up your card? What privileges do you have to give up when you're no longer a city girl? Carisha seems to be leaving the city girl realm as well, as she's now, potentially seriously dating P. Diddy, the ultimate city boy. Well, anyway, congratulations to everybody. So Mase and Fivio Foreign keep going back and forth. This is another one of those rocking in the club battles. We're just gonna get it rocking in the club all night long. Mean show number 2. Mean show number 2. Mean show. Yeah, all right. So Mase, I'm assuming it's Fivio, but nobody wants to say Fivio. I bet a lot of people can't even pronounce Fivio. So it's just Fivio. 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 Five. Right. So these things are hard to cover unless I can spin it some type of way that's at least entertaining for me or informative to the listener. Maybe I'll go the informative route here. You know, in retrospect, if Fivio's deal was for 5,000, you know, not discussing the rest of the deal because I honestly don't know about the rest of the deal, but that part is honestly good from an artist standpoint. Why do I say that? I mean, you hear all the time about these guys that get $250,000 advances, $500,000 advances, $1,000,000 advances, and never wind up paying the record company back. All just are in debt forever, can't get out of their deal, can't go nowhere, can't make moves, you know. So it must be a good deal otherwise, my thinking would tell me. Because he's recouped like a motherfucker if all he took was 5,000 up front. Now, of course, they charge everything else to the game. The recording, you know, shipping you around town, videos, promo, fake followers. We know that everybody uses fake followers. I'm not picking on him. But the labels pay for this stuff and charge it to the game, charge it to the artist. There's also something funny called cross collateralization that I never subjected any of my recording artists to. You know, anybody that I put out could never say that they paid for somebody else's project. Many of them can say that they never put a penny into their projects. But which is why I say in the long run that might be the best deal ever. Because hey man, my advance was only 5,000. Mase, you know, so you really can't hold me here. I don't owe you nothing. Right now we both eating because I appreciate you giving me the, you know, the okay or whatever. The cosign, I guess you want to say. Not the okay, the cosign. But it just seems like they're having fun and trying to drum up publicity. But again, that's not fun to look at life that way, so we have to play. Okay? So, who do you think will win in a fist fight between Mase and Fivio Foreign? That should be the undercard of the Game versus Eminem. Who do you think would win there? Leave a comment and get the conversation started wherever you're listening to this or watching this. You know? What else we got? Shout out to Mase and Fivio. Yeah, I think there's no beef there at all. I think they're drumming up publicity and just playing with the shit. So recently, Jocelyn Savage claims that not only is she R. Kelly's fiance, but also she is pregnant with R. Kelly's baby, which is strange. I'm recording this mid-August 2022. I feel like he's been in jail longer than 9 months, and she didn't say how pregnant she is in her 11. I guess if you say 11 chapter or 11 page, you would be correct both ways. Wow. She wrote a 11 page, kind of autobiography, her story, and made some of these claims. So I'm sure the book is and will be a bestseller. And good luck to Jocelyn Savage. Kels, man, keep your head up, bro. Okay. Well, 2 Chainz to expand restaurant chain after settling lawsuit with Pablo Escobar's family. Again from Hip Hop DX, which they pull from Franchise Times. Okay, so Esco Restaurants is the name. And now they have The Blessing. I'm very hungry. I have to eat after this. The Blessing of the Escobar family to now expand. Maybe 2 Chainz will have a chance to open up a franchise in Colombia. So very hungry. I probably should have recorded with music, but perhaps that's my metabolism burning these calories. I want to get back to fighting weight so I can also be a part of the undercard for the Rockin' in the Club battle. Okay. You probably know that Robert Allen, one of the defendants, co-defendants in XXX Tentacion's murder case, has decided to flip on his co-defendants and turn state's evidence, meaning he's going to tell. He's going to try to get some type of lenient sentence so that he puts both of the other ones away. Not much comment from my end on that one. It's kind of that whole case is kind of weird. And maybe years from now we'll revisit this and decide it was worthwhile. Well, episode 2. This couldn't end soon enough. 53 minutes in. I wonder, should I let my stomach growl some more so that I burn some more of these calories? Or should I satisfy the craving and go ahead and cook some of this food that I just bought here? Well, I'll let you know next week, God willing, or universe willing, however you feel. But hey, take care of yourselves out here. We're gonna rock in the club one more time. Let's bring Eminem and the Game to the ring the right way. Ooh. Mean show number 2. Mean show number 2.